There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
G'day onliners. Showing my age a bit, aren't I, with that little clip? It's Geoff, Hollyoak Drumbeat's Hog Master Trainer. Now, you're probably wondering, what the heck is a Hog Master Trainer? Well, HOG's an acronym just like Drumbeat, but only it stands for Hairy Old Guy, which I think, looking at the garb and looking at those videos on our training videos, it's pretty appropriate, don't you think? Anyway, my manager has asked me to do a short little video for you guys because we know a lot of people out there seem to be struggling to get through the online training, or maybe they've started it and then they've fallen by the wayside a little bit. And so she asked me to do this video and, in a sense, has given me the brief to be uplifting. Yeah, I can do that, I think. Upbeat, maybe. But funny. Whoa, I don't know where that came from. She seems to forget that beneath this cool, charming exterior is a proverbial grumpy old man. And certainly being funny is not something that's been associated with me in the past. I think you'd have more luck getting Donald Trump to admit that the election wasn't rigged than you would try and get me to be funny. I haven't got a funny bone in my body, but hey, I do have a funny bone, which combined with this musical bone, because I haven't got a musical bone in my body either, can actually make some music. Well, you don't eat your thumb. Anyway, let's be honest. The last 2 years have been annus horribilis for everyone. Terrible. You know, the whole world has sort of changed. It's been turned on its head. It's COVID this, COVID that. Great coats on, great coats off. Let's have a lockdown, let's not have a lockdown. Let's have a partial lockdown, let's go back to work. Let's work from home. Lock the schools out. Open the schools. Lock some of the schools down, or part of the school down, and have other kids go back to school. Is it any wonder the people that don't know whether they're Arthur or Martha, they're coming or going? And we know for a fact, when you combine that with the normal doom and gloom that we see on the TV news, the stress levels, anxiety levels in the community are just going through the roof. People are really, really worried about their futures. What's coming around the corner? Who knows? So now it's more important than ever that the communities need Drumbeat. The communities need you. That's really important. So we're trying to get you, we want to get you through the online training. It's very important, as I said. Stress levels are going to be with us for quite some time now, even though the borders are opened, but international travel still hasn't finally taken off yet, and there's still all these worries about vaccinations. So communities, more importantly, really need those alternative therapies. They need ways to reduce the community stress levels, individual stress levels. Communities need connection. Communities need emotional resilience and emotional regulation. And that's what Drumbeat offers. We know that. We know that drumming has a really positive effect on the brain. Those rhythmic activities like dancing, singing, music, drumming, jogging, walking, rhythmic pattern activities can have a really calming effect on the anxious mind, on those minds that are in a high emotional anxiety states. We also know that a lot of the people that we work with have probably suffered trauma, and these people are oscillating between the fight and flight mode, and we can't do any effective intervention when they're stuck in that emotional state. And again, drumming is a perfect medium to help people calm down, to help regulate themselves, and that's when we can do some effective intervention. We also know that drumming, and there's evidence to support that drumming as a group can build that sense of connection, that release of serotonin, that makes us sort of bond more with other people, that social connection we have. We feel part of the group, a closeness with each other. And that can be achieved through drum beat when we have people playing different parts of the rhythm, but they're playing them together in harmony. And when I first learned drum beat, I was pathetic as a drummer. I couldn't drum if my life depended upon it. So I went and actually got some lessons. And the guy who taught me was from West Africa, and they have a beautiful saying over there in West Africa. If you play chaos, if you play noise, people will get up and leave. If you play music, if you play harmony, people will stay and want to dance. And I thought about that and I said, and that's so true of relationships as well. If our relationships are about noise, about chaos, people will leave. They may not leave physically, but they'll definitely leave emotionally. But if our relationships are about harmony, about music, people will want to stay. And that's what we want. We want you to go out there and take drum beat out to your communities. They need it just as much. And another thing, it's not just the communities that need drum beat. You, the facilitator, I would argue, need drum beat as well, because I know, I'm living proof, that drum beat can have a positive effect, not just on the people that we're delivering the program to, but us ourselves. I'll tell you a story. Many years ago, I used to run a program and I supervised 3 staff where we provided AOD counselling to prisoners, both in the prison and when they got out on parole. I loved that program, it was great, I was passionate about it, I still am. But after a couple of years, the management here at Holyoke was singing the praises of this new program called Drum Beat, this all chanting, all drumming program, and how wonderful it was and a beautiful impact it was having on young people, school-aged children. And I thought, nah, rubbish. You can't use music as therapy. It's probably just some new age, feel-good, kumbaya type program, which is just a flash in the pan. Probably some long-haired, unwashed, dishevelled, hippie type bloke leading it. So I dismissed it out of hand. I said, no. Anyway, a couple of years later, my clinical manager, senior manager, came to me and said, look, hey, we noticed you haven't been doing any professional development. Everyone else here is doing it, but you aren't. Why not? I said, well, look, I've got no time. I just love my program. I've got staff to supervise. I've got clients to see. I've got prisons to attend to. Well, no, you can't do it. You've got to do some professional development. So look around for something that you might want to do. So I looked, and I thought, look, I couldn't find anything that was appropriate to the client group that I was working, not at that time. And they said, no, you've still got to do some professional development. Why don't you do drum beat? Oh, I thought, do I have to? Well, look, I really... But hey, it's 3 days away from the office or the prison perhaps. All right, so I said, all right, yeah, I'll do that. At least I'll get away from the office. I'll get away from my senior manager for a couple of days, if nothing else. And I did the training, but I'll be very honest, I was very cynical and I was very closed to the whole idea of drum beat and using music. And it was a 3-day training in those days, and by the first day, I was hooked. I thought, this is fantastic. And by the 3rd day, I said, I knew this was a great program. I'm sure it will work with adults as well, because at that stage, it was just solely being used with teenagers, young people. So, I loved it so much. And it wasn't just a program, it was the enthusiasm of the training, but it was also the enthusiasm of the people attending the drum beat training. And what I've found over the years since I've become a trainer is pretty much everyone, with that one exception, with me, comes to drum beat eager, keen, wanting to learn, wanting to have new skills to put in their toolbox so that they can intervene with their people that they're working with. They're passionate about what they do. And that was the amazing thing, and that transferred across to me. And so I actually started taking drum beat into the prisons as part of my own program. And I saw the results of that. It was fantastic. So when you look at it, drum beat's not just about for the communities, it's also for you as a person. And this is the person I've become. Trust me, that grumpy old man is still inside there somewhere, but hey, he comes out very, very seldom nowadays. So we really want you to complete the training, and we'll do whatever we can to help you get through that training. I'm happy to do some one-to-one live streaming with you. Okay, if a couple of you can get together in the same room, 2 or 3 of you, we can knock all the rhythms off where I can allocate tasks to you, where one might teach the group one part of one rhythm, another one person might teach the group the other rhythm, okay, one of the other rhythms. And we can knock all that off, and we can do that in an hour. But what I would like is that you do those videos regarding holding the drum, teaching the notes, and running through the drum beat rhythm exercise, and do them as we ask in the online training before you attempt to come and do a 1 hour session with me. And also when you do those sessions, you do some preparation, because I get some people, they just come here and they're reading from the book while they're trying to teach me or show me how they can play the lesson. And it's not just about playing the rhythms, we need to see whether you can actually teach the rhythms as well. That's a really important part, because that's what facilitation is about. So much for the levity, eh? Only a short bit at the front there. Anyway, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to sign off, but we're going to attach some little video clips that I did during COVID on some alternative ways that you can drum if you haven't got a drum. And maybe they might give you a bit of a chuckle. So look, I really look forward to seeing some submissions from you guys, and I'm just an email, I'm just a phone call, or I'm just a live stream, Teams, Zoom, Skype, whatever away. And please, we really, really want you to complete the training, and we'll help in whatever way we can. Okay, so I'll now hand you over to our technical guys, and they will add some stuff to this. Look forward to seeing you on the other side. Another thing about this playing with your food before you cook it is you're doing a bit of that preparation anyway as well. This potato is probably going to be nice and soft for mashed potatoes by now. And this meat, it's really tender, so it's going to be nice on my barbie tonight. And of course the corns and peas, that's good, they're frozen, so they're not going to get too mushed up. So I think this is a great idea, you know. Who knows, we may have found something new to get kids to eat. Can't wait to try it out on my grandkids, you know, when they come round for dinner or stay over. Won't their parents be surprised? Okay, I'm just going to finish with a little bit of a rhythm that I sort of picked up along the way, okay? I'll see if I can remember it right. How's that sound, okay? Nice tender steak by now. And those of you might remember this little item. This is a pot which I picked up from the kitchen. Whoa, very distinctive, wasn't it, eh? And for the piece de resistance, a watermelon. I hope my wife's not watching, because if she sees this, she'll go bananas. And trust me, you can't really use a banana for drumming as an alternative, because it gets quite squashy and mushy. Anyway. See, I could demonstrate all the different notes, even with a watermelon. How good is that, eh? So, I'm going to get ready now for the finale. As you can see, it's a little bit messy here. So just bear with me. I'll put some more water. I've got to, you know, these drums don't last as long as the old djembes, I can tell you that, that's for sure. Here we go. Oh, that's what we call freedom of expression. That's that last exercise we have every day. Some of you might remember that. Oh, I bet you some of your girls think, hey, wet t-shirt competition, eh? No, it's just a Hawaiian shirt.